All right. So welcome to Meraki. I think you guys just came back from the roof, and I see some beers and other fun drinks out. So great. We've got a great session for you guys. It's great to have everyone back. I think about half of you attended Wireless Field Day 2, so I see some familiar faces. And for those of you who haven't visited Meraki, again, welcome. So I'm Sanjit. I'm the CEO, one of the founders of the company. There are three of us. You'll get a chance to meet all of us later on today. And what I'm going to do is sort of open things up and get the show on the road. So agenda-wise, we're going to start with a quick business update, which I'll give you guys maybe 5 or 10 minutes, nothing too long, and then get to the interesting stuff. We've got a bunch on hardware. I know we got some questions back from you about what you'd like to see. Hardware was among the kind of top most requested question. And then we've got a section where we'll do some live demos, show you some new features we've implemented in the dashboard, some customer networks that may be of interest as well, and then go into Q&A. So hopefully a very interactive session. This is a small group, so I would love to take questions as we go, just like we did last time. Great. And actually, can I get a quick show of hands? Who's new here? For whom is this first WFD? OK, great. All right. So for those of you who have been tracking our growth, Meraki has been growing very, very quickly. And we continue to accelerate. And we've got a plot up there of our revenue over the last couple of years. This is actually from 2009 onwards. And what I've done is plotted our halves. We're a private company, so we don't disclose the exact revenue numbers, but you can get a sense for the relative order. And a couple of things I want to point out. Meraki as a company has been doing a little bit better, or somewhere between 2 and 3x in terms of revenue growth year over year, and that's been very consistent. As far as the company's health, we're doing very well. Strong balance sheet. We recently raised some additional money to fuel us towards an IPO. We have strong cash flows as well, so we're cash flow profitable. And we've had thousands upon thousands of new customer wins just this year. So I think the last time we met this group was back in January. We'll talk about some of our progress from there, but it's been pretty exciting. Along with that, we've been expanding various departments within the company as quickly as possible to keep up with this massive expansion. And this is in R&D as well as in sales and all the other supporting areas. In terms of company size, since January when we met, the company has doubled in size. And that's to really support all of this growth. And we spend a lot of time at the executive staff level trying to figure out what can we do to best support this growth. It's pretty unusual for a company to grow this fast. So we have made some new hires. You'll meet a few of them. I think some of you know Todd from his previous places, as well as a few others. R&D has grown quite a bit. We're working on a lot of new features, and we'll talk about some of those. We're also working on some new products, which we won't quite talk about yet. Sales, and then as well as support and operations. Those two departments often don't get mentioned, but customer support is very, very important to us. Our customer experience, we believe, is one of our big differentiators in the market, so we want to make sure we have A+ support. And then our operations team, who provides all of the supply chain operations as well as logistics out to our partners all over the world. We've scaled up those teams as well. OK, and along those lines of customers, we are trying to stay as focused as possible on those customers. It's very easy to get into the day-to-day management of a company as it's going through these phases of growth. But the reason we're successful is because our customers love us. And we have to keep our ear to the ground about what it is that they want. And that's changing. And we figure out what the demands of the market are through all kinds of different means. We have wishes. So as part of our dashboard interface, you can make these one-line wishes. I wish this page would. We read those. We get emails from our customers. We check Twitter. Every morning when I wake up, it's one of the first things I check. You can kind of get a sense of what people like and what they don't like about the product. And that's actually, I think, so many of the names in this room are familiar because I've seen you guys on Twitter. And it's actually great. And even the criticisms are great because it gives us an idea of where it is that we need to improve. And along those lines, these new features and enhancements that we come up with, we try to release them quickly and often, right? And really do them every quarter. So not once-a-year releases, but try to get regular releases out there, get feedback from the community, go back and make it better. And you know, it's a very, very competitive industry. I actually like to think almost all of our competitors really just have fantastic products. And so that makes it even harder for us to differentiate. But we try hard, and that's why we come out with new features and listen so carefully. And ultimately, as a consumer or a customer, you get a better experience. And so that's our philosophy here is we're all in this industry. We're all in it together. How can we deliver the best possible products and meet the needs of a very rapidly changing industry? So one of the things I talked about earlier was we like to come out with new features, release them often. We call this term feature velocity. It's the speed at which we're coming out with features, and we keep a close eye on it across all of our product lines. So Up on the screen, our main product line is the Meraki MR family. It's our wireless business. This is just over the last 24 months. Some of the milestones, if we go through all of our little releases, it would kind of be a very busy slide. But just some fun highlights for us, right? Meraki NAC was something we came out with back in 2011, which seems like a long time ago. And then from there, we came out with 3x3 radios, which a lot of the industry did as well. But device-based group policies, the PCI compliance checking. And more recently, we've come out with some neat features like the ability to actually have SMS-based authentication on a splash page for guests. That was a pretty interesting feature for us. I liked it a lot because it came as a suggestion from our customer. I remember being in the customer meeting, and it was kind of like a light bulb went off, right? It makes total sense having the idea of people register their phone number in order to get online, get their code over SMS, and then you've actually got a record of who the guest was. Little things like that, we believe, make a big difference in our product experience. And then more recently, we've been beefing up our WIP story. We added air marshal functionality, and I think we'll talk about that a little bit later on as well. If that wasn't enough to keep us busy, the Meraki MX family added a bunch of new features that were. So the MX are the security appliances. We released these appliances about 2 years ago, roughly January of 2011. And originally we came out with 2 smaller appliances. We since expanded the family, added a lot of features within those products as well. So we're going to talk less about that given this is Wireless Field Day. But this is the auto VPN, the application control, the link bonding, and then more recently, some neat features like WAN optimization, which we bundle in, even larger firewalls. So we have multi-gigabit firewalls, some with 10 gig interfaces. So we've been investing in R&D in that line as well. And then the switch line we came out with in January. You see the orange arrow here. This is everything from the stacking to VoIP support in the QoS layer to kind of 802.1x and even layer 7 traffic analysis. So the pie charts that you've seen in our wireless product, now available in the switch as well. I think we're probably one of the first companies to offer that. But again, trying to just deliver what our customers are asking for. And then last but not least, on my, I call it the subway map here, we've got the Meraki SM or System Manager line. And this is our mobile device management product. It's available for free as a download online. We started again with Mac and PC management there. And then about a year ago, we added iOS. And that actually opened up a bunch of interesting doors for us in terms of customer requests. We've kept an ear to the ground on that as well, added profile support, volume purchasing support, application management, and you'll actually see a preview of the Android beta as well. So that's a lot of arrows, it's a lot of features, and you may be wondering what's going on here. It seems like an explosion of features. And you know, I completely agree with you, it is an explosion of features, but we actually have a very coherent vision around this, which is we want to have a single unified access layer. And we believe that this is something that a lot of customers believe in, mainly because this is kind of how they think about their network. They're not thinking just about wireless or just about Ethernet or just about firewalls. They're kind of thinking about the entire edge of their network. And there's a lot of interesting new challenges that are coming up there, mainly because of all the devices and applications. And this is not a theme unique to Meraki, of course, but it is interesting to see that there are about 10 times as many devices registering on these networks as a few years ago. And that's a lot of new complexity that's showing up. So when we talk about the various product lines or system manager, really what we're talking about is our entire platform and how can we provide visibility and kind of deep access to what's going on these networks. So that's kind of the high level. Hopefully that puts a little bit of this into perspective. Last thing I wanted to mention, we did get some questions asking if there would be time for a hands-on lab. Unfortunately, we couldn't figure out how to do that logistically, but I did want to let you guys know we do have a program now for people to get their hands on equipment, spend 2 days with us. It's actually nationwide, and we've now expanded it to EMEA as well. We're doing trainings, and again, this is really an opportunity for folks to get really deep into the products, try out different scenarios, see them for yourself. If you're interested in this stuff, please follow up with us afterwards or just send us an email, and we'd be happy to get you more information. All right.